Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Venkatesh and welcome to my channel SmartDevops. And today we are going to continue the another episode for the Breaking a Cluster Kubernetes cluster series. And in this session, we are going to talk about two essential Kubernetes resources. That is one config maps, the other one secrets. Okay. So these are fundamental building blocks for managing the configuration and sensitive data in your Kubernetes applications. So by the end of this video, you will understand their purposes and how they differ, and you can see the relation of this analogy to help and make you understand with the better examples. Okay, let's jump into it. First of all, what are config maps and what are the secrets, and what is the exact role of these two things in Kubernetes? So, config maps is like it's in a Kubernetes object that will allows you to store non-sensitive data. That means non-sensitive data. Okay, so the non-sensitive data, the naming itself, you understand what it means. So just an example, like think of it as the way to decouple your application's configuration from the application code. This makes your application more flexible and easier to manage. So that's the beauty of configuration map. Okay, that means when you have a complete application code and you want to separate the configuration, the application configuration data separately and keep it somewhere in your cluster, and you can manage it very safely. Okay, and this makes your application more flexible and very easy to manage. So these are the benefits of using the configuration map. Coming to the other part, secrets. So what is a secret? Okay, a secret is another Kubernetes object, but as the name suggests, it is designed to store the sensitive data. So I mentioned non-sensitive and sensitive here, but I'll provide you a better example like what is this? As the name consists, you might understand like what is non-sensitive and sensitive. Okay. So like what are the sensitive data is like in the in the cluster perspective, you have a API keys, passwords, certificates. Okay. The secrets ensures that this sensitive information is kept secure and separate from the application code. So the main core for these two things is, okay, the configuration maps or secrets, you want to keep this non-sensitive or sensitive data separate from your application code and keep it as an application configuration separately. So that will make you easy to manage your application. Okay, let's come to the, just imagine a day-to-day analogy I just want to give you for your better understanding of what is config maps and secrets. Imagine just about the config map. I just want tell you a live example how what is a config map should be. Think of this as a shop's menu, a menu card. Okay, the menu contains the non-sensitive information like the list of, for example, what is the coffee type, okay, and what is the price and what are the sizes. So these are the different types of menu they are maintaining. Okay, but this data is actually not confidential. That means anybody can read that menu and order as per their request, as per their requirements. Coming to the secrets in that recipe, like if you see, this is like a recipe of your signature coffee blend. For example, you are providing the different flavors of this data in your menu, but you are not providing what is the actual essence of your coffee. Okay, how much proportions of you are maintaining, mean the coffee beans to provide you the a good essence to your coffee. Okay, and what are the special ingredients you are using. So this is just a small example, okay, by taking it in a real time world. Okay, and this information is very highly sensitive for the coffee shop perspective. Okay, they cannot share that to the outside to maintain the competition. Okay, like that in Kubernetes config map is a menu card. Okay, it will be shared openly with your application ecosystem. However, the secret recipe, okay, the recipe the mentioned like is protected and only accessible to authorized components. Next, how this config maps and secrets are works. Okay, how these two will works. Let's say you have an application, it's just a um, web page application, and you want to print a statement as welcome to my application in a color called blue. Okay. So in that case, how you can give those details? Actually, I just want to show you an example here itself. If you see, this is the config map. If you see, this is the config map, and this is a complete a manifest for the config map. I have given the name of the config and the namespace and what is the data I am going to pass for this configuration map. If you see this config map clearly, there is no application code, information, nothing. It is just a data I just want to pass to print something in the front end page, right? So that's what I said in the beginning. It has to separate the application configuration content, whichever we need it, from the application code, and you can create a configuration map and store it in your cluster. So this is the information. And in the pod, if you see this in the right hand side, I have given the pod name and the image I want to trigger, and I am giving an environment variable. You have to provide the environment variable, whatever you want, you can give it. I have given it as a welcome message. And now here I am giving a content like this value from config map key reference. And what is the name of it? App config. So that is nothing but this app config. And what is the key? I want to call it here. The key is what is the message. And again, there are two key value pairs are there. If you see, this is the key, this is the value. Like that, you have a key value pair. So I'm giving the name of the config map and key will be welcome message. Automatically, it will take the value 1. And second config map is theme color. So theme color is another key and value is blue. So I'm passing those values again like this. So like this, if you have any number of config maps, okay, which is required for your application configuration, you can keep it here and manage accordingly. This is about the configuration map. Hope you are clear till this time. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel because I'm getting so much of comments and so much of support from your side. So I just need your complete support. Okay. Now I'm going to the next one, that is secret. So this is the secret. The manifest will be like this, and I'm giving the name as a DB secret, and I'm going to put a namespace as default. If you see clearly, I'm storing a database password like this. So this is the DB password. As I said, like this is your and this is your value. Now in the right hand side, as I created like a config map, I'm going to add this secret to my pod name, container, and environment. If you see this block, as here I have given as config map reference, here I am giving secret key reference and the value key is db secret. Okay, the name of the secret is db secret and the key is db password. Now what will happen? The db password will be called from this secret and add it to your pod application. Like this, the config maps and secrets will play very crucial role to manage your application. This is a very basic example, but there are so many config maps will be created when you install an application and so many secrets will be there. So when the secrets will come into a play, like when you are using a three-tier architecture, come back to my page here. So when you are using a three-tier architecture, you need to have app, web, and DB. So when you are making a call, this is your application, this is your pod running, and this is your web application. The page has to display, okay, using Nginx or Tomcat, anything in the front end page, and your application is running. And this DB is a secure thing. When your application making a call to DB, and it has to use some credentials to connect to DB and get this credentials for your application to be running. So at this time, we need to use the secrets and which will encode in a base64 format, that which will not shown to the external people. Okay, that is the main usage of this config map and secrets. So the purpose, I just want to summarize the difference between these two config map and secrets. The purpose is like, as I said, like config map is a just to store the non-sensitive information, and the secret is to store your sensitive information. The data format is like is plain text. Okay, for the config map it is a plain text only, and for the non secret it will be, as I said, like it is a base64 encoded. And access control for config map it is very limited, but for secret we need to put a RBAC also. So the things to remember here is like, the main thing is, first one is when you are creating a secrets, you have to encode the secret as a base 64 encodement. That means you have to, the data in secrets is base 64 encoded. Okay, so that you will enable the encryption so that the secret will be stored in your cluster in an encrypted format. What is RBAC policies? You need to, as I said, like RBAC policies, right? Role-based access controls. So this is very important. When you start any cluster, the access will be different for developers, access will be different for operations team. So like this RBAC will plays a different role for each entity. Okay, like this for the accessing the secrets also, everyone will not have access to the get the cluster access completely to see the secrets. So RBAC policies we have to apply it properly and use your config maps for setting that can be shared across different components without a security concerns. That is the important point you need to remember. So just want to summarize again, like in this video, we have explored what is config maps and secrets are, and with a relatable coffee shop example to distinguish between them. And I have shown you that what is the difference between this config map with the pod, how you are going to use that in your Kubernetes cluster. By understanding this and using config maps and secrets correctly, you will better equipped to manage configuration and sensitive data securely in your Kubernetes cluster. So that's it for this video for today. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe for my content in the Break the Cluster series. Let's keep learning and breaking the cluster together. Thanks for watching.